It's no secret that offensive line is easily the biggest concern for me in the Las Vegas Raiders. I mean, we got to be honest here. From left to right, I don't know. Like Colton Miller, like we have said it probably too much, definitely too much. Colton Miller should be the only offensive lineman on the Raiders, O-line that has any kind of guarantee. Like I know that there was you're hopeful for guys like Dylan Parham and the rest of these guys, but I don't care. I have said it from the beginning, and I'm going to continue to say it until I am blue in the face. I feel like this entire offensive line has to go through the ringer. They all have to be shuffled around. You have to find the best 5 guys. I don't care who it is, and get them on the field. That's all that matters to me. And I think that one particular player needs to get on the field sooner rather than later. I think it's Bamidele Olaseni. We call him Bam around here because the man, he's a mammoth. He's a man, and he's ready to really, I think, in my mind, get on the field sooner rather than later. I think he should be a guy that is not only going to be a starter, but he's going to be a future starter at right tackle for the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, it all comes down to, yes, we've got to start talking about his scouting report and everything, and we'll get to that in just a second. But I think at the end of the day, I think just when you just talk about the sheer size of a guy like Bam Olaseni, we're talking about a guy 6'8", 339, 340, and really in that range. And he's just a man. He's just an absolute man. So you talk about a man here coming up out of Utah. You really like what you see here, and I feel like he's going to be one of those guys that does surprise a lot. And I feel like he should be in that right tackle mix with Alex Leatherwood, with guys like Brandon Parker. Whoever is going to play right tackle, Bam Olaseni should definitely be in that mix as well. So we talk about a guy, a former redshirt senior coming up out of Utah, had that 88 and 3/8 quarter inch, something like that, somehow wingspan. And, his arms, he's got long arms, big hands. He's a behemoth. He's a guy that, he's going to lock on. He's going to be that guy that has, I think he's got a good enough kick step and athleticism to be able to be a fantastic right tackle. Now, played left tackle in college, and specifically this scouting report by Pro Football Network, we'll leave the description. We'll leave that link in the description, down in below. But I think he's a guy that, they mention him being, you'll see in parentheses here, first player off the bus type of a guy that really is just for, intimidation. I understand all that. But honestly, I think his path to where he is now has been very impressive. It talks a little bit about that, him coming from England to JUCO to the University of Utah and everything. Or is it Utah? Whatever. Anyway, it is Utah. I don't know if it's the university. Doesn't matter. At the end of the day, earned himself a Shrine Bowl invite and brought his talents and eventually to the Las Vegas Raiders offensive line. And it talks about his strengths. Obviously, we mentioned the size. We mentioned his arms. That you really can't coach size. It's size and speed. Those are the two things. If you've got some guys just have it, some guys just don't. If you can have that prototypical type size, you can be a force down there, especially on the outside on the offensive lineman. Now, I question if his size could help him play left tackle. I think Colton Miller, you just set it and forget it. You don't have to do anything special with Colton Miller. You just have him in there and doing a lot of special things. But I think that there is something special in Olaseni in particular with with the way he kick steps. I think with the way he kick steps and the way he uses his technique. Now it needs a lot of polish. I will admit that, but I think he uses enough technique to be able to win with the physical tools that he has, and I think that's kind of what it touches on here a little bit. It talks about his matchups with guys like Drake London and Kayvon Thibodeau. I think those are definitely things you need to watch the tape on that. I watched it multiple times. I just love how he handled Thibodeau in a lot of situations. He can be a mauler, and I think if you look at a guy like Olaseni on that right side, I think he could be that future starter. So when it talks about areas for improvement, yes, technique is definitely something you want to work on. He is 26 years old, so you do question how long you do have to coach him. But at the end of the day, you've got a guy with tremendous size, with good enough athleticism to be a fantastic right tackle in this league. And there's some things to correct, but that's where coaching comes in. That's where OTAs, training camp, all of that now is probably. Is he going to start right away? I doubt it. I think they're going to give Alex Leatherwood another shot here. If not, try Alex Leatherwood out at guard, but I would not have a problem with Alex Leatherwood at guard and then Olaseni out at right tackle. It doesn't matter to me. Best player plays, doesn't matter. So, like I said, it also talks about, his career getting to Utah and everything, but it also talks about, it brought in a very, very interesting comparison. It compared him to Trent Brown a little bit. You talk about they've got similar size here, 6'8" for Trent Brown, 6'7" and 1/8 inch for Olaseni. We're within 16 pounds of each other, basically the same arm length, essentially the same 40-yard dash. So there's a lot of different things here that you see a lot of the same same things here between a guy like Trent Brown and Bam Olaseni. So I think there is some things to work with. I do think it comes down to coaching, and I do think that it comes down to how they use him, particularly this year and moving forward. But I do think that Bam Olaseni is going to be a guy that you really have to keep an eye out for, and just be prepared to use him in any situation. But let us know what you guys think. Make sure you guys like and subscribe down below. Leave a like and a comment. It helps people find the show. We greatly appreciate all the support that we've gotten and continue to get. You guys are all truthfully awesome. We love every single one of you. Down in the description below, you'll find all of our social media platforms. Give us a like and a follow there. We'd greatly appreciate it. We'll love every single one of you guys. But at the end of the day, let us know what you guys think about Bamidele Olaseni, Bam, who could be a future star at right tackle for the Las Vegas Raiders.